Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to the part where we're going to replace the pickguard with the one we put together with the EMG pickup in it. First of all, what you're going to want to do is flip this. Flip the pickguard like that. Let me turn that another way there. There we go. And I'm going to show you a really efficient way of removing the pickguard without sort of removing necessary parts. So all you're going to need to do is cut 3 of the cables. I'm going to show you on screen now what cables you are going to want to cut. So let's start this now. So you've got the yellow cable there that's attached to the volume and 2 blacks that are attached to the volume. So you're going to cut the yellow. Oh, let's see if I can get that there. There we go. Cut the yellow, cut that black, and cut that black as well. And all you need to do is just remove the pickguard. And then you have a fully functional pickguard that all you're going to need to do is attach 3 wires to, which is the jack cables there, and then the ground wire. And for this, we're not going to need the ground wire, so you can cut that off. I'll turn it around and cut that off because we're not going to need that. But basically, you've got a fully functional pickguard that you're only going to need to solder 3 cables to, and you can put that to one side if you've got any future projects or anything like that. And I learned how to do that by watching a video by Phil McKnight or Philip McKnight. I'll put the link in the description for you, but he's got a great channel with loads of different videos on there. So again, put that to one side. Next, we are going to remove the jack socket there. Okay, so for this you're going to need an 18mm socket driver. So you remove the nut from the jack socket there, and then grab your screwdriver. Put those screws to one side because you're going to need those again. There we go, and then just pull that out. And what you're left over with is the jack socket, which you can remove these cables or leave them on for, again, as I say, future projects. And now I'm going to remove the back plate here so I can remove the ground cable. And don't remove all of them because all you need to do is just get rid of the majority of them. Leave one in the corner and then you can just slide that to one side. And now you grab the ground wire that's in here. So you can see that there. And as you can see, that is soldered to the middle part there. All you need to do, grab your wire cutters again. Just cut that. There we go. And then put that back on. Okay, now we've got those back in. You'll also notice that I removed the neck. You won't have to remove the neck for this, but for ease of doing the video, I did remove the neck. And that's really easy. That's just 4 of the big screws. Just take those out. Let's move on to adding the pickguard. So this is going to be a strange one for me because I've never done this before. So let's figure out how this is going to fit in here. Am I going to? Yeah, I'm going to have to remove the 9-volt battery, and what else am I going to have to remove? Okay, I'm going to have to remove that part there. So are they going to fit through? I hope they will.
One eternity later.
That was a little bit fidgety, but again, not a massive issue. So let's move on to this part here. So am I going to have to replace any of that? I don't think I am. Okay, so not all the screw holes match up in this guitar, so we are going to have to pre-drill some more in by the looks of it. Yeah, there's going to have to be a bit of drilling there. So I shall do those and I'll get back to you very shortly. Okay, so after pre-drilling all the holes, what I've done is I've put it all together. I didn't film myself putting the cables and everything inside because it would have just been me here half an hour trying to put some cables together and get it all neat and tidy. But I'm going to put up on screen now for you what it actually looks like inside, how I've done it. What I did is I got a sponge, like a normal like scouring sponge, and cut out a part for the battery to sit in so it's not sitting against the wood, and then cut out a couple of parts as well just to make the cables a bit neat, and then just put it on. I've drilled in, as you can see here, a couple of screws just to hold it in for now. And moment of truth, I haven't tried this yet. So fingers crossed, as you can see here, I've connected it all up. Actual shot, there we go. And then I'm going to see, hopefully, fingers crossed, we get sound. So I'm going to switch on the amp and screwdriver ready. Hey, we have sound. I'm just going to turn it down. That's good. And we have it installed, and look how lovely, and just sort of, I don't know what it is about it. I think it just looks so slick with everything black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screw this back in now. So let's turn that off, unplug this, and then somehow neatly, without damaging the cables, put this in. Alright, I'm going to have to try and figure out how to put this in, and I'll be back with you very shortly. So, after spending another half an hour trying to get the jack plate on, I managed to get it. It's all good. All works fine. So now let's put the screws back on the pickguard, or the rest of the screws back on the pickguard, and get the neck put back on. There we go. That's the pickguard put back together. I am extremely happy with that because I thought it was going to go horribly wrong. I've probably just jinxed it now. But now let's move on to putting the neck back on. Give it a quick wipe. There we have it. That looks amazing. Let's just give this a quick wipe. Let's pickguard a quick wipe. So for this, I'm using the Music Nomad. I think it's the microfiber cloth. You can use really any microfiber cloth, but these work really well with guitars. They do excellent stuff for guitar care. And I'm not sponsored by anyone in this video, by EMG, by Music Nomad, or any other companies. I just like using their products. So I thought, well, why not tell you guys about it? And obviously, if anyone wants to sponsor me or endorse me or anything like that, then of course I'm always open to things like that. But yeah, no, there we go. That gets rid of most of that. So now all we need to do is put the strings on it. And for this, I'm going to be putting on regular slinkies, just because I like any ball and go for the things that you like, basically. I'm going to turn that over. Okay, so for this part, I'm gonna restring it. Obviously, as you saw me put this, I put the strings through. So what I'm gonna do is get that done. So all you're gonna need for this part is a pair of clippers. Let's see if I can get that in the camera. What I'm also gonna use, the fretboard isn't that dirty, but I'm just gonna go through a couple of tools from Music Nomad that came in this, well, 3 of them came in the F-One unfinished fretboard care kit. So you're not going to want to use these on sort of gloss fretboards, maple fretboards that aren't porous. So you're going to just use this on porous fretboards. String winder, just easy, and press a button and done. That one's from Harley Benton because I'm too lazy. Microfiber cloth. The F-One kit also came with a cloth which has, I think, microfiber on one side, or just a normal cloth on one side, and then on the back it has sort of like a scratchy, I think you can hear that in the microphone, very much ASMR, scratchy part there, which I think is just to sort of dig into the fretboard a bit and get rid of the grime and grease. And then this, you can get right into the into the frets like that to get rid of any sort of grime, and then just sort of brush it off. And then we've got the guitar detailer, which works really, really well on matte guitars. I tried it a couple of days ago to see what it was like, and I've never used anything like it on a matte body before. It just got rid of the fingerprints. But obviously they'll just come back straight away once you touch the guitar. And then you've got the F-One oil, which is the fretboard oil. So first we're going to use that. So get that on. Shake bottle, put a small amount directly on the fretboard or cloth and work into the fretboard. So let's get the cloth. So we're going to get the softer side, put a bit on there, just work it in. You can see the grime on there. There we go. And just get rid of the excess. Some of it's on the body, that's fine, that'll come straight off. Okay, now let's put the lid back on that, whatever I get, and knock it over everywhere. Get these strings on. So with locking tuners, obviously you've got the bit you unscrew on the back, and then what you want to do is pull it as far as you can, let go of it just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of slack, and then tighten that up, lift that up there, and move on to the next strings, and then I'll show you what to do next. So what you want to do is you want to just tighten it up. Once you've got it through, tighten it up, and then just lift the string up like that, because we're going to get ready to cut that. Right, now they're done. This does come with a set of clippers on the back, so if you don't have any others and you get one of these, it's got it on there. Personally, I don't like it because it doesn't get in close enough, but if you just put that back on there, it just clips safely in there. But for this, I'm going to use the clippers because they just get in closer. So you just go into there, clip it, move on to the rest. And before you do this, make sure the back of the tuners are all securely locked, because you don't want to cut it and then find out that you don't have enough string. So even these ones don't get in close enough to how close I would like to get in, but they definitely get closer. Okay, now let's tighten these up. And use this nifty tool. You just pop it on there. If you do get too much slack on it, it's not a problem, because it will just keep winding, but it just won't look as neat, that's all. So much easier. All you have to do is press a button. Oof, love that tuning. Sorry, the neck's quite straight, so I'm going to have to lift up these a bit. Okay, that's set up. Now I'm going to want to make sure it's all in tune. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure it's all in tune. Before we do, I'll show you this guitar detailer, because this is fantastic stuff. And again, as I say, I'm not endorsed or anything by it, but I want to show you products that I use, because if I use them, I would definitely recommend you guys using them. Obviously you don't have to, but it's just one of those things, I guess. So let's spray it on there. Just one spray. And then you just wipe it across the body. So as you can see there, it's all sort of fingerprinted out. So I'm going to try and not touch it as much as I can and get this guitar detailer on here properly. Another spray on there if need be. A couple on there. It's got a really nice smell to it as well. I'm not sure if you guys over in the US have got it, but we've got something called Parma Violets. They're like a sweet, and it smells like that. It's really nice. There we go. You can see the difference there already.